There's a couple exciting Nintendo Switch stories we have to talk about today, starting with a classic game collection that will indeed be headed to the Nintendo Switch, now being confirmed for more platforms and an exact release window. And I will tell you guys, I'm more hyped for this game than ever. Then the big talking point for today's video has to do with Nintendo Switch Online, a couple different aspects actually, as there is leaks that suggest that we're getting new NES and SNES games in the future, and even potentially some Sega Genesis games as soon as today. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below, hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. Now, as I mentioned, guys, we got a couple different stories to get through today, and we have to kick it off with a classic game collection that will be headed to the Nintendo Switch, and this is the Klonoa series. And I will tell you guys firsthand, I missed out on this when it originally launched back in the PlayStation 1 era, and then it even saw a release on the Wii, as well as many spin-off titles on the Game Boy Advance. And I am just going to go into this blind for the first time, but I will tell you guys that the trailer and the gameplay that we see around these two Klonoa games looks top notch, and it looks like the type of platformer, fun, fast action that I enjoy. So I'm definitely looking forward to this game's release. And to get on the same page with the reason why it's in the news today, I do want to quickly hop over to VGC, where they have a detailed article typed up around this game now being confirmed for multiple platforms and its exact release date. Klonoa's remasters are also coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC in July. Bandai Namco confirms additional platforms beyond Switch for Fantasy Reverie series. Bandai Namco's Klonoa remasters will release on multiple platforms when they arrive on July 8th, the company has announced. The remaster collection will release on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Steam, Bandai Namco said on Thursday, in addition to the already confirmed Nintendo Switch versions arriving the same day. According to Bandai Namco, Fantasy Reverie series will introduce features to classic games, including optional tutorials, a two-player support mode, a challenging stopwatch mode, and easy, normal, and hard difficulty modes. So the more platforms something gets released for, obviously the better, and with the history of this particular series being multi-platform, I do think it is obviously a good move to have it come out on all of the major consoles right now, and we can look forward to this game's release on July 8th. I'm not sure if they've announced the pricing at this point in time, but providing it's, even if it is a full $60 title, I may check it out, but I kind of think this one is maybe in that $40 range, and if this is indeed a $40 game or a classic collection of two very well-reviewed platformers, as I believe the first one sits in the high 80s on Metacritic, and Klonoa 2 actually sits at 91 on Metacritic, so definitely some fan favorite games that I definitely missed out on the first time around. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below whether or not you're hyped for these games to release. If you have nostalgia for them and you were able to play them the first time around, definitely share with me if you're still planning on picking them up, or if this is one that you'll skip over altogether. So I do look forward to hearing from you guys on all things Klonoa and the Fantasy Reverie series in the comments down below. Now, the other story we're talking about today is essentially a two-part story with Nintendo Switch Online, one of which having to do with Sega Genesis games potentially hitting the service as soon as today, as typically we see when Nintendo does add in games to the service. Not only do they schedule server maintenance, but they also do it late in the evening when the games actually go live, and it is midday at the time of filming this video, so there is a very solid chance that we can expect new Sega Genesis games to indeed hit the service today, as there is currently maintenance scheduled for this evening for specifically the Sega Genesis app. And the last time we've seen that app go live for maintenance, we did indeed get those 3 new Sega Genesis games added in. And if this is any kind of sign of Nintendo sticking to somewhat of a monthly schedule for Sega Genesis with new batch updates, I am all here for it. If it's anything between 2 to 3 games a month going forward for Sega Genesis, I think that is a huge win, and they should definitely build out that library rather quickly, as we know to expect roughly 1 N64 title per month. But I do think that getting 2 to 3 Genesis titles definitely helps sell that expansion pack value, and is always going to give you a reason to hop back into some classic Sega Genesis games and maybe check out some hidden gems you missed, or maybe we get lucky and they are some big name titles that we still need to see hit the service. So of course, with things like maintenance scheduled, it is not a confirmation that titles will be added in, but there's a lot of people talking and pointing to the fact that we most likely will. So definitely be on the lookout for some kind of surprise Sega Genesis trailer announcement this evening, and let me know in the comments down below which games you hope we see added to the Sega Genesis Genesis collection of games next, and also what kind of update schedule you personally would like to see going forward for specifically Sega Genesis games on Nintendo Switch Online. Now, the part 2 to the reason that Nintendo Switch Online is in the news today is there's been some very big leaks that by all accounts look legitimate, in the sense that there is a lot of NES games that could have been planned, even tested on the service, and we just do not know about them yet to this point in time. Some of them have me very hyped, and I definitely hope that they do indeed hit Nintendo Switch Online. And to get on the same page with everything that has been discovered here, I do want to hop back to VGC and read through their article where they have a detailed breakdown of what's been uncovered here and what games we may be able to expect to see added to NES games going forward. So let's quickly read through this article together. Another Switch Online leak may have revealed upcoming NES games, including Tetris, Castlevania, Galaga, Pac-Man, and Mega Man titles. Footage of what's claimed to be a leaked Nintendo Switch Online NES application has been posted online, possibly revealing plans for a number of upcoming releases. The footage below reportedly compares the current Switch Online NES application with a leaked master version that has a build date of October 2019, according to Twitter user Caitlin Molinis via Nintendo Life. The latter contains all of the currently available NES Online games plus unreleased ones, including Tetris, Castlevania, Galaga, Pac-Man, and Mega Man titles. Now, if you then look at the screenshot of this leaked build from October 2019, mind you, we have all of these major Mega Man games that absolutely need to make it to NES Online. Like, this is what I want my NES Online screen to look like when I boot up that application, and I'm certainly hopeful that we will get a lot of these games added in there. I think Nintendo needs to pay the publisher fees to get all of the major Capcom titles on there. Like, that Mega Man collection alone would add significant value to NES Online, in my personal opinion. And the reason it seems to be legitimate is the fact that this is a build version from October of 2019, and it has a bunch of games that have been added into the service since then, but also ones that have not. And there's even footage of people scrolling through it, which I will not have on screen, but basically, this could be an indication of some unannounced NES games that will eventually be headed to the service, and I certainly hope that the games in question on the screenshot do end up making it. And it also is an interesting talking point around how far in advance Nintendo has this roadmap planned out, because clearly with things like an annual or monthly subscription service, they pretty much have to rely on a drip feed model because they want people to stay subscribed and always be around the corner for the new updates that they continue to add in. Even though we had a 6-month gap there in NES and SNES games being added to the service, it does seem that now Nintendo is starting to focus again on all platforms that are part of NSO, and I personally am here for it. I think the service has come a very long way since the expansion pack was originally revealed. With all of the controversy around the price, I still want to see a monthly tier option for the expansion pack at some point in the future, but if Nintendo continues to update all of their library of games, if they pay some of those publisher fees, figure out some of the licensing issues with certain games, and get them on the service, I think we really have a unique experience here where you can have all of the childhood games you grew up with essentially docked or portable, which I absolutely love. If you're traveling, you can take those games with you and play them at any point in time. Over a weekend trip, I was playing Donkey Kong Country 2 for fun on the NES Online app, and it's just one of those things that it's really nice to have, or SNES rather, online app, and it's just one of those things that's really enjoyable for me to be able to go back and play some nostalgic titles that I grew up with wherever I'm at any point in time. And I think that if Nintendo continues to build the library for the service going forward on all platforms, and then hopefully we are around the corner this year from seeing something like Game Boy family of systems added into the service, I think that $50 annual price makes all the sense in the world at that point, especially if they continue to pack in more DLC packs like the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, Animal Crossing New Horizons DLC so far. Let's throw in some more DLC to this thing, and I definitely think NSO base tier and NSO Plus expansion pack look a lot more worth it than they did in the past. But at this point in the video, I want to hear from you guys personally on all of your thoughts and feelings on all the stories we talked about today. Are you interested in the Klonoa games, and are you going to be picking up the remastered edition when it drops on July 8th? Also share with me if you think we're getting Sega Genesis games a new batch update later on this evening, and which games you hope they will be. And then definitely let me know what you want to see from the future of NES, SNES games on the service, and then what consoles you want to see added in next, and where is your overall opinion fall on the current pricing structure for Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack and the base tier? And is it now becoming more worth it to you in your eyes, or do you still think this is something that Nintendo needs to refine and update before they can justify the current asking prices that they have the service at? So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you in the comments down below before we leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Make sure you check out yesterday's video if you haven't already, where we discuss Sega's really sloppy way that they ended up presenting the Sonic Origins collection and how it definitely needs some refining to be a simpler pricing structure. Then also a conversation around all of the Nintendo Switch games moving around in the year of 2022 and what it could mean for some surprise Summer Direct games. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.